Right now, a local professor's story after a life-changing trip to Syria. Plus, after a career that spans decades, Wisconsin's longest-serving Secretary of State announces his immediate retirement. And later, the final border battle of the season as the Badgers take on the Gophers in the Frozen Four. We're live in Duluth coming up. Welcome to News 3 Now at 6. It has now been more than a month since the devastating earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. Hundreds of buildings turned into rubble in just a matter of seconds. In total, more than 54,000 people were killed, with more than 48,000 of those being from Turkey. In a time of destruction in Turkey, one UW-Platteville assistant professor considered this a time to be able to make change with a visit to assess the damage. Our Catherine Merck spoke to the educator about her mission and talked to the university about what her experience means for her students.
We were there for 6 days.
Dr. Gulan Azkola traveled thousands of miles from her classes at UW-Platteville in order to gather data after Turkey's devastating earthquakes.
This earthquake was a very significant earthquake, one of the biggest in the world, actually.
This educator took these photos and videos during her time examining the aftermath of the 7.8 and 7.5 magnitude earthquakes. She said the goal of her research is to stop future disasters like this one from having as big of an effect.
Researchers always try to go there and try to learn what happened and why happened.
Her work is not only helping those in Turkey, it's also helping students at UW-Platteville.
In the class, we see the theory. And theory is just like by book, right? And what is more interesting for students, for anyone, when they realize that the importance of civil engineers, then they start to think that, okay, the time that we are spending in here is too much valuable.
In a statement, UW-Platteville's chancellor said, quote, "Not only is she making a positive impact in that region, but by sharing her experience and research with UW-Platteville students, she's helping to better prepare the next generation of engineers to do the same." It's clear the lengths this educator was willing to travel will go the extra mile for both her students and those still suffering from the destruction in Turkey.
As an engineer, our goal to save the lives.
Reporting in Platteville, I'm Catherine Merck with News 3 Now.
Also at UW-Platteville today, System President Jay Rothman announced the 3 finalists to become the university's next chancellor. Tammy Evedovich has served as interim chancellor since June of last year. Artanya Wesley is Whitewater's vice chancellor for student affairs, and Philip Cavalier is currently the interim chancellor at the University of Tennessee Martin. To learn more about each candidate and the hiring process, just head to channel3000.com. And let's get a look at our first warn forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti.
Charlotte, it's pretty windy out here, but at least we've had sunshine today. Hasn't really helped the temperatures very much, and tomorrow, without the sun, will be even colder. Visible cloud track shows the early morning clouds moving on out, and you can see to the west some more clouds starting to develop across parts of the Dakotas, western Minnesota, and western Iowa, and those will be heading in our direction later tonight. A few flurries across parts of southwestern Iowa, and then lake effect snows downwind from Lake Superior, but a little band of snow flurries up around the Duluth Superior area starting to drop southward. We could see those late tonight into early tomorrow morning. Current temperatures not looking like mid-March at this point. 30 in Janesville, 28 Madison, 26 at the Baraboo Dells Airport, and already 19 in Black River Falls across Dane County. 29 right now in McFarland and Edgerton, 29 for the current temperature in Waunakee. But then you have these winds that are generally in the 25 to 35 mile per hour range. You factor those in with the temperatures. Wind chills right now make it feel like it's 19 in Madison, only 3 degrees in Camp Douglas, and 9 degrees in Wautoma. Look for mostly or partly cloudy skies this evening. They'll turn mostly cloudy later on tonight. Temperatures will drop into the upper teens by late evening. Later on, I'll take a look at our forecast. That does include a warm-up, but we'll have to wait a couple days to get there.
A random break-in and attack in Middleton leads to an arrest and an elderly woman injured. This happened Tuesday night on Maywood Avenue. Police say the 20-year-old female suspect climbed up an apartment building to a patio door and broke in before attacking a 77-year-old woman who was sitting in a recliner inside. The victim and suspect do not know each other. That suspect was arrested and is facing several charges now. In Oshkosh overnight, a police officer shot and wounded a suspect as they were driving a vehicle at officers. Police were in the area responding to a threats complaint when a suspect vehicle was spotted. They say the suspect then drove at the officer officers. One of them fired their gun and hit the suspect, who was taken to a local hospital. No officers were hurt. After more than 40 years in public office, Secretary of State Doug LaFollette is moving on. With more on what this means, here's political reporter Will Keneally.
You might recognize his name. Yes, Doug LaFollette is a distant relative of Fighting Bob here. But you might not know exactly what his office does. And don't worry, you're not alone. He doesn't do much more than stamp the state seal on official document. And LaFollette says that's part of the reason why he decided to hang it up now. In his resignation letter, he cited a lack of adequate staff and resources as the key reason why it was time for him to go. UW-Milwaukee political scientist Mordecai Lee, who served in the legislature during the early LaFollette years, says that that's been something Republicans have been working towards recently.
The recent Republican state legislature eventually came around to agreeing with me that unimportant elected offices should be eliminated.
Republicans actually put forward a proposal to get rid of another office, state treasurer. That proposal ultimately failed in a referendum vote. And it's actually the former state treasurer, Sarah Godlewski, who Governor Evers appointed to fill LaFollette's shoes today. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Godlewski will fill out the rest of the 4-year term starting tomorrow, and she will not have to face confirmation in the state Senate. But the Republican Senate leader today asked the governor to call a special election to fill that seat. We have new information now. The UW system today releasing more details on its proposal to increase tuition and fees for the upcoming academic year. The announcement was made earlier this month. Under the proposal, the average cost of attendance would increase 4.2% when factoring in room and board, but increases would vary by school. The Board of Regents is set to consider the proposal during its meeting on March 30th and 31st at UW Stout. And we have a breakdown by university on our website, channel3000.com. Next door in Minnesota tonight, regulators say they're monitoring the cleanup of a leak of 400,000 gallons of radioactive water from Xcel Energy's Monticello nuclear power plant. The company says it took swift action to contain the leak, and there's no health and safety risk to the local community or the environment. While Xcel reported the leak to state and federal authorities in late November, the spill had not been made public before yesterday. Up in Duluth, Minnesota, fans have been waiting a while for this Frozen Four matchup pitting UW against Minnesota. Our Arman Rahman found some fans making that trip. Hi, Arman.
Yeah, guys, the girls are warming up on the ice right now, but I tell you, the fans don't need any warming up. They are pretty confident for a win here tonight. And the 310 Club nearby Amsoil Arena here in Duluth was filled with red and white for the Badgers bash before the girls take the ice at 6. Many of them, like John Wilson, make it a point to watch the women's NCAA tournament every year.
We have a good time. Women's hockey is a lot of fun to watch, and so we just like to go and support who's ever there. It's obviously better if it's the Badgers.
And that pub was filled with fans of all ages, with some old and, of course, the next generation. As for the game itself, puck drop is less than 30 minutes away. We'll have that coverage later on tonight on News 3 Now at 10. For now, back to you guys.
Armand, thank you. Now, still ahead at 6, a special St. Patty's Day visitor for patients at a local hospital. Plus, how you can help more Wisconsin veterans take an honor flight to Washington, D.C. Stay with us.
Get the absolute best pricing now during Ashley's anniversary event. We've marked down everything to match online prices, all backed by our 30-day price guarantee. Get your choice of 6 months interest-free financing or low monthly payment options and free local delivery, only at Ashley.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy and water providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Dan Kelly is extremely corrupt. 6 times Kelly ruled in favor of a plaintiff with close ties. He was on their advisory panel. He took contributions from their board. And all 6 times, Kelly ruled in their favor. Another time, Kelly changed his mind about whether to judge the Zignego case after pocketing $20,000 in contributions from the Zignego family. Corruption, extremism, that's Dan Kelly.
It's Stop the Madness month. If your energy bills are too high, stop the madness. If your comfort is out of balance and you go straight from heat to AC, stop the madness. If you've had it with outside noise, stop the madness. Get insulated now and save up to $2,000 with the energy tax credit plus our madness discount. But the clock runs out at the end of the month, so call today.
USA Insulation.
Celebrate Ashley's anniversary with our lowest mattress prices of the season. Get your best night's sleep on Purple, Tempur-Pedic, Serta, and more. All backed by our 30-day price guarantee and special financing options that fit your budget at Wisconsin's #1 mattress retailer, Ashley.
You are watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. Nearly 450,000 people turned out at the National St. Patrick's Day Parade in Dublin, Ireland today. The parade with the theme We Are One and 4,000 participants highlighted a unifying global culture and reflected values including community, diversity, and sustainability. Well, nothing quite that big happening in Madison today for St. Patty's Day, but some patients at SSM Health St. Mary's Hospital getting a very special visitor to mark the occasion.
Hi. Happy St. Patrick's Day. What's your name?
That is Joe the Leprechaun making a return today, taking some time to meet with patients. This is his first time back since the start of the pandemic and marks 20 years since his first St. Patrick's Day visit. Around the state, you can help create more honor flight opportunities for veterans across the country. The co-founder of the Never Forgotten Honor Flight is competing in the Orange County Chopper's Dream Chopper competition. If he wins the contest, he promises to auction off the ride to provide more honor flights. Jade Fleury reports.
Orange County Choppers is hosting a competition to see who can get the most votes for a custom motorcycle. Competitors have to write up a reason why they want the cool ride.
Of course, the Honor Flight program is not hard to sell, and I made the cut.
The Honor Flight flies World War II, Korea, and Vietnam veterans to D.C. for free to visit their memorials.
The Honor Flight program goes a long way for them to get closure.
If Campbell wins the Dream Chopper, the Orange County Choppers will help him customize the Honor Flight themed bike.
Some of that will be obviously patriotic colors, so there'll be lots of red, white, and blue and American flags and that kind of thing.
But most importantly, Campbell says he'd auction off the bike to create more trips to D.C. for all 124 Honor Flight hubs.
If the bike sells for $100,000, that would be 200 veterans. Most honor flights fly airplanes that carry about 100 veterans, so that's 2 airplanes full.
For Campbell, the competition isn't about the motorcycle. It's about the veterans.
You think about, a 90-year-old World War II veteran who'd never been thanked, ever. Never got a welcome home. That is one of the highlights, obviously, of the Honor Flight program, is they finally get recognized and thanked.
Right now, there are 73 people in the Dream Chopper competition, and Jim Campbell is currently in first place. Next Thursday, the top 20 will advance to the next round. Still ahead at 6, big developments out of Russia tonight as a warrant is issued for Russian President Vladimir Putin. Plus, after a chilly, windy St. Patty's Day, we're looking ahead to the weekend. Gary Canalti will have his full forecast up next.
Come to Slumberland and get 20% off our beautiful new furniture and decor during our Spring Spruce Up event. Plus extra discounts on recliners, patios, Sealy mattresses, and sectionals. Get an extra 20% off right now at Slumberland Furniture.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family cool this summer,
let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes. In Madison, contact Heating and Cooling Incorporated to maximize your comfort and energy savings whatever the season.
For 75 years, DePaco has been more than local. It's a member-owned, not-for-profit cooperative that has grown into a vital community resource, a place where members can build a life worth loving. When you join DePaco, you own it. Your money stays here, enriching the lives of your friends and neighbors. DePaco strives to carry out the mission envisioned by the 10 meatpacking employees who founded it, to create a brighter community for all. To learn more about DePaco and how to become a member, go to depaco.com/join.
Clearview Cabinetry starts as a kitchen built for right now and grows with you as life changes. It's flexible by design, so you can go from doors to drawers for storage that works at every stage. Clearview Cabinetry is now 11% off. Complete your project with countertops from Menards with elegant to everyday options and easy installation that you can do yourself. Get 11% off countertops and start your next project today, now at Menards.
Sleeping in pain or too hot? Come to Slumberland and get 20% off mattresses. Find your perfect mattress with our easy rating system and save big. Get a Sealy Queen mattress for just $4.99. Only at Slumberland.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. We're getting an update on last month's toxic chemical train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. An EPA administrator says the cleanup will take at least another 3 months, and that is barring bad weather or any changes to the site condition. As of yesterday, about half of the total excavation of contaminated soil from under the track was completed. Nearly 7 million gallons of liquid and more than 5,400 tons of solid waste was taken from the site for disposal. The International Criminal Court has issued arrest warrants for Russian President Putin and another member of Putin's government for war crimes. Now, according to the U.S. and several European governments, Putin's administration has carried out a plot to forcibly deport thousands of Ukrainian children to Russia, often to a network of dozens of camps where the minors undergo political re-education. Russia has characterized the reports as absurd and called the warrants outrageous. And here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi with a look at our first warn forecast.
Well, we've got clouds back in the forecast for tomorrow. We had at least some sunshine today, so it was a sunny St. Patrick's Day, but it was windy and cold. And tomorrow, windy and cold as well. Maybe a couple of flurries late tonight into early tomorrow morning, but that's pretty much about it. But wind chills could drop below zero at times. Look for sunny skies to return for Sunday. It'll be breezy and milder with temperatures back at least into the upper 30s, and then even milder weather comes back for much of next week with high temperatures in the upper 40s Monday and probably above 50 for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but there'll also be some rain chances in there as well. On Doppler track, things pretty quiet across southern Wisconsin. Heavy lake effect snow squalls continue downwind from Lake Superior, but a little batch of flurries here starting to rotate southward. We could see those later on tonight into early tomorrow morning. You can see this on 6-hour future track. By midnight, they should be approaching, say, Wausau or at least up by Merrill over toward Eau Claire and the Twin Cities. And that brings them down here probably around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Today, we've had some pretty strong wind gusts. These are current wind gusts, 33 miles an hour in Milwaukee, 28 miles an hour here in Madison. But the peak wind gusts so far, 32 miles an hour in town. But many of the major reporting stations saw wind gusts at or above 40 miles per hour. Those winds will come down a little bit, but still be pretty strong through at least tomorrow. As we look at current snow depth, the northern portion of Wisconsin and upper Michigan, still 2 to 2.5 feet or more of snow on the ground. Southern Wisconsin, the snow much more spotty. We didn't pick up very much last night, and that snow, a lot of that, even that heads to the south and west into parts of Iowa and Nebraska, that will melt pretty quickly over the next couple of days. And with no snow to the south, if the winds are out of the south, our temperatures will warm up pretty quickly, and that's exactly what will happen as we head into next week. But right now, the winds are coming in from the north and northwest, right out of Canada, not only near the ground, but aloft. So that just continues to funnel down the cold air. The cold air is actually spread south and east of the Ohio River, the leading edge of the cold air with these showers here to the north and west. Again, some flurries, but at this point, it looks like we're just looking at relatively quiet conditions. Again, that trough of low pressure may be kicking off a couple of flurries late tonight into early tomorrow morning. Planning your night across Dane County. Look for skies to cloud up after midnight, maybe a few flurries by morning. Low temperature 14 in Dalyville, 14 in Verona, and 14 in Windsor. Across the rest of southern Wisconsin, low temperature 13 in Watertown. Watertown, 15 in Fond du Lac, and 15 degrees in Baraboo. But you factor in the winds, it'll probably feel more like 0. Tomorrow, look for a high of only 24 degrees. That's almost 20 degrees below average. It'll be cloudy, windy, and cold with a few flurries early in the morning. Our first warned 7 to 10 day forecast. Again, we bounce right back up to 39 on Sunday. And as those winds pick up out of the south, those temperatures climb into the upper 40s Monday, lower 50s for Tuesday and Wednesday. Some showers Tuesday night into Wednesday. Thursday might even see an isolated thunderstorm with highs in the mid-50s, but Friday that high 45 early in the day with falling temperatures. Showers mixing with snow before ending Friday night. And then temperatures in the 40s for next weekend, and then a little colder for the start of the following week.
10 minutes until the puck drops for Wisconsin and Minnesota's Frozen Four semifinal. When we return, we hear from the Badgers one more time, so stay with us.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Clean, safe, fun. I wanted it all when we needed daytime care for Mom. Oh, Grace's new adult day center is so nice. Now she goes twice a week while I'm at work and loves it.
A Grace, caring every step of the way.
Remember this, and the false elector scheme. In Wisconsin, extremist Dan Kelly was the right-wing lawyer behind the scenes of it all. The bipartisan January 6th Commission revealed Kelly advised Trump operatives as special counsel to overturn the will of the people and overthrow the election results. Kelly even went on tour promoting the big lie. On April 4th, vote like democracy depends on it, because it does.
Fry Construction invites you to celebrate spring with our big spring thaw sale. We're talking about savings of 23%. Many of your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best Roofer 3 years in a row. Experience the best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Get on board with our spring thaw sale. Save 23% off gutters or insulation with any full roofing project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
There are so many things we take for granted. So many things. And along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for their survival for granted too. The elderly, disabled, the veterans, people on limited and fixed incomes, or folks that lost jobs in sectors hardest hit during the pandemic. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? Some people just can't come back. And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind, struggling to keep their heat, water, and power on. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our heat, water, and power providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Physically, the Badgers are ready. They've grinded through a long season starting all the way back in September, fought through a little adversity, and now they're a win away from playing for a national championship. And heading into their Frozen Four semifinal matchup against the Gophers, the biggest thing for Mark Johnson is having his team clear their minds and just go out and play free.
Have them clear all those distractions and clear that space, so they're just focused in on going on the ice and doing what's important in between the boards, because that's all that matters. All the other stuff and talk and things that we do doesn't help the outcome.
We've really found our game, and I think you can tell if you watch us playing games or you watch us practice, like we all have smiles on our face. It's so freeing.
And the winner of the Wisconsin-Minnesota matchup will go on to face WCHA rival and defending national champ Ohio State for the title on Sunday. The Buckeyes took down Northeastern in their first semifinal game earlier today, 3-0. Marquette opening up tournament play earlier today. Their game with Vermont airing here on CBS. The Golden Eagles quick to take the lead, and also Iguodano is quick to add to it. Stuffs for 2 as Marquette doubles up Vermont. Now they hold a 9-point lead at halftime. In the second half is where they really dial things up. Cam Jones drives inside, fakes out the defender for the bucket. He finishes with 19 points, and the Golden Eagles are moving on to the round of 32, 78-61, the final. 23 years ago, Fall River boys basketball made its first state appearance. It also happened to be their last until this season. The Pirates have a chance to bring home their program's first ever gold ball. Only thing standing between them and a spot in that Division V championship game is top-ranked McDonald Central. Early first, Colin Vieth is going to cash in from behind the arc for 3 of his 21 points on the day. The Pirates opened the game with a 7-0 scoring run, and they're showing how dangerous they are from distance and down low. Matthew Miller able to knock down that floater, but even a double-digit lead isn't enough to deter McDonald Central. The Bulldogs rally back in the second half, edging Fall River 66-62. The Pirates finished the season 26-4. And it's official, Alan Lazard put pen to paper with the New York Jets. Earlier today, the former Packer said that standing here today, it feels good knowing that 12 is going to be my quarterback again. Aaron Rodgers made his intentions clear this week that he wants to play for the Jets, but no official trade has been made yet.
All right, and for our bracket challenge, after this Marquette win, in case you didn't know, Eric and I are tied with the morning show. So,
well, I'm wishing you the best of luck because I actually didn't fill out a bracket. It snuck up on me really quick.
That's okay. See, look, this is for you, and this is for you.
Thank you. Very nice. Northern Illinois is not in the
no, they're not. So this is why you're rooting for Marquette. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Marquette all the way.
Thank you for that, Garrett.
Of course, I remember when they won back in 1977 too. So you know, that's one of the advantages of being older. Well, right now skies are mostly sunny across southern Wisconsin. There's a live view from the WISC-TV Skycam, the Platteville Queen Bee Radio Skycam, showing plenty of sunshine there. But temperatures are cold. 27 Madison, 28 in Janesville. And those temperatures will drop into the low to mid-teens by morning.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Thanks for joining us tonight. Have a great evening.